Yo, what's going on, Dragon Ballers? Welcome back to another video. Today we'll be going over the new tournament pack cards coming out in set 18 and how they buff your fan favorite older decks. We'll be talking about that in today's video. Normally I do have my face cam on for these types of videos, but I'm having random camera problems today, so we'll be doing no face cam. But anyways, we'll get right into this. We're not going over every single tournament pack card. We're going over specifically the ones that I can point out to you that support older decks. Let's jump right into this. If you guys want to support the channel, you can definitely use my TCG player link in the description. It really does help out as always. Anyways, let's jump right into Supreme Kai of Time Mastermind's Pawn. I'm excited for this one. If you guys saw my Meki deck profile from a few months ago, we have a 4-drop 10k Servant, so know that it is a 20k attacking battle card. It just can't restand during the charge phase. Auto limit 1 when this card's played, or you gain control of an opponent's battle card, your opponent sends one card from their hand to their warp. So if this thing happens to stick around, you can proc it again. And I mean, being a 20k battle card, maybe like super early on in the game it can stick around, but once like turn 3 turn 4 comes around, I don't expect this thing to ever live, so you may want to start using the Overlord portion of it. But activate main for a black. If your leader is a Machikabura card and there are 2 or more Dark Dragon Balls in your drop, play this card from your hand, place up to 2 Dark Dragon Balls from your deck in your drop, then shuffle your deck. So this is another Self-Awakener for the Machikabura Wish deck, which is always a nice thing to have. And this is probably going to replace the Shroom in that deck, because the Shroom is a little bit more conditional. You have to actually attack to warp battle cards. This thing gets value no matter if you go first, second, or when you play it. So very, very good card for Machikabura, definitely. Alright, then we have Great Ape Son Gohan, Sand Bloodlines. So while this is technically support for Green Turles, oh, this is such a laughable card. I really dislike it. But it's a 1-drop green unison. Activate main +2. Add up to 1 4-star ball from your deck to your hand. Parasitic Darkness specifically. Shuffle your deck and place 1 card from your hand at the bottom of your deck. So they couldn't even let it be a raw +1. Like, it's just worse than unisons that draw a card because it searches for a specific card, and that specific card was never even played in the only successful version of the Turles deck, so that's just troll. But activate main -5. Until the start of your next main phase, you can activate Fruit of the Tree of Might from your hand without paying its energy cost by discarding another card from your hand instead. So they went ahead and added all the costs to this card that would make it absolutely terrible. Even though if they didn't put any costs on it, it would still be fine for the Turles deck. Not incredibly OP, would just be a nice little way to generate some advantage in that deck. But still, technically, for your green Turles decks, I don't foresee anyone really playing this card in Turles, though. Then we have Master Roshi Demonic Vassal. This is a card for the Garlic Jr. deck. We haven't seen that in a while. 2-drop 9k Servant, though, so it is a 19k. Now, this auto is worded incorrectly. It doesn't tell you when it actually procs, but it's heavily assumed that it's on play. So if your leader is a Yellow Demon Clan card, look at the top 5 cards of your deck, add up to 1 Yellow Demon Clan among them to your hand, and then shuffle your deck. So a decent searcher there. I don't remember off the top of my head exactly what the Garlic Jr. deck does, but I think it free plays these Demon Clan Servants in rest mode, if I'm not mistaken. So that'll be a free searcher if, again, I'm not mistaken. Activate main limit 1. If your leader is a Yellow Demon Clan card, Makio stars in your battle area, and you place 1 card from your hand at the bottom of your deck, play this card from your hand in rest mode. So it has the ability to play itself. Not exactly sure if this is a great starter for the deck or not. It seems like it would be a starter because you're able to play it for free and get a search off of it. So maybe that's good. If you guys are more dedicated Garlic Jr. players, let me in the comments below if this card's actually any good for the archetype. Let me know. Then we have Great Ape Son Gohan Unstoppable Rampage. So this is for what people call the Flippy Gohan deck. The Gohan deck came out in set 15 or 16, and it revolves around playing field cards constantly. So this is a 4-drop 20k unique double strike blocker, auto for a yellow. If your leader is a Great Ape Son Gohan youth and you have 2 or more energy, when a yellow field is placed in your battle area, add up to 1 card from your life to your hand, and then play this card from your hand. Auto when this card is removed from your battle area by an opponent's skill. Play up to 1 Son Gohan youth with an energy cost of 1 from your deck. So this is not a bad card by any means. I believe the deck already has a similar card, like an ape you can play for 1 energy. I don't think it's quite as juiced up as this card is, though. And it is nice that when it's removed from the battle area, you get a free play. It essentially floats, and what we refer to as floating is when a card's removed from the battle area, it lets you play another card, basically. It generates some form of advantage from being removed. So not a bad card. It's just going to be tied to the limitations of the archetype it's part of, which unfortunately has never been all that great, but might be better on a bit of a casual level. Then we have Hiro Masuba Master. I find this card kind of interesting. So 1-drop 4k permanent. When this card will be placed in a drop, place at the bottom of the owner's deck instead. Activate main, limit 1 for a green. If your leader is a world tournament card, choose one Earthling card in your opponent's battle area and play this card from your hand on top of it. If you do, gain control of this card. So it's a really weird form of removal. I guess you can get around things that say the card can't be removed from the battle area, because this should like kind of serve as a replacement. This will go on top, and then once it's on top, the card underneath it should no longer really have effects, and then you should be able to take back control of it. Activate main, discard one card from your hand, add up to one Hero's Masuba from your deck to your hand, shuffle your deck, and negate the skill for the game. So this is a bit of a promo support for an older promo. Hero's Masuba is kind of like a blue Masuba, but for green decks. Never been all that great, but again, I find this card kind of interesting because it just serves as a very different form of removal, where green has usually very good forms of removal. So maybe it'll come up in the future if there's some problematic Earthling card, but for now, probably not going to be all that great. Then we have Vegeta Elite Arrogance. Man, they have decided to throw a lot of support at really questionable strategies, but we have a 1-drop 4K unique battle card, auto once per turn. If your leader is a green Vegeta card, when you play a green battle card with blocker or activate a green field with energy cost of 1, draw 1 card. So I guess a bit of draw power for the deck that has literally no draw power. Activate main once per turn, pay a green. If your leader is green, you have a field extra card in your battle area. Add up to 1 green ape with energy cost of 4 or less and blocker from your drop to your hand. So a bit of recursion. Again, maybe it's a fine card for the archetype. Again, actually giving it some draw power that it never really had, but it's going to be very limited to the power of the archetype it's meant for, which is unfortunately, again, pretty low. Then we have SS Goku, Xeno, Reflexive, Strike, 3-drop 5K, Overwhelm 3, Counter. That alone is crazy, but then we read the next part. If your leader is a black Supreme Kai of Time card, negate the counter skill and play this card. Notice it's 5k power 2. That's going to be helpful for fusing into Gogeta Xenos. Activate main limit 1. If your leader is a black Supreme Kai of Time card, you discard this card from your hand. Load up 5 cards from top of your deck. Add up to 1 black Goku Xeno or black Vegeta Xeno, which will include your super combo, interestingly enough, among them to your hand, then shuffle your deck. Activate main, send this card to the owner's warp, draw 2 cards, then send 1 card from your hand to your warp. So that effect, that activate main there, will take place in the battle area. So if you happen to overwhelm this card or play it via counter, you can use the activate main to get some added value off of it. Now, this card is absolutely crazy, except for the fact that it's tied to Supreme Kai leader. That leader is really interesting. It kind of just revolves around the entire wormhole mechanic. The main problem with that deck, though, is that it theoretically just cannot play the game against blue, because if the play of your Overwhelm gets stopped, if you cannot successfully play an Overwhelm card, your leader's effect fizzles, from what I remember. You're not able to actually proc your leader effect. So that's going to be a big problem. If blue ever becomes unpopular, maybe Supreme Kai of Time actually steps in and does something on a rogue level. I can see that maybe being a thing, because now having a counter like this and just having good generic black cards and overwhelming twice per turn, that might lead to something cool. But yeah, for now, we're going to have to kind of see how things shake out. Then we have Launch Personality Shift. This is obviously for the launch deck. 1-drop barrier, 1k battle card, auto limit 1. If your leader's a red launch card and all your energy is mono red, when you play a battle card from your life, up to one of your leader cards get plus 5,000 power for the turn. So you're going to be giving launch a Sensu Bean. That's kind of neat. But it means when you play a battle card from your life. So that's going back to the actual launch support, which no successful launch deck has actually ended up playing competitively. Again, maybe more of a casual thing. Activate main once per turn. If your leader is a red launch card, add 1 card from your life to your hand, then place 1 card from your hand in your life. So admittedly, this is actually a great card for the pure launch strategy, because it lets you fix your life so you can play more battle cards out of your life, and giving your leader that Sensu Bean effect is not going to be bad, but I don't think this is going to make the life flipping variant of launch or the pure variant of launch all that much better competitively. Again, a lot of these cards seem to be for more casual decks and more casual themes, which is all well and good, but I don't know if this is going to drag us all to locals to pick these up in the near future. But anyways, we have a couple good ones now. Gamble 1, Power Unleash. This card's really good. We have a 1-drop 4k unique. When this card's played from your hand, draw 1. Activate main limit 1. If your leader's a blue android card, you may play this card from your energy. So you're not getting the draw there, because the draw is tied to being played from hand, but you do get the added value just playing a battle card out of your energy, which is almost as good as drawing a card, because it didn't cost you a card from your hand to play. Then we have Activate main once per turn. If no player has a leader with its front side facing up and your opponent has 3 or more energy, this card gains plus 16k power and critical until the start of your next main phase. So I do think this card is very good for being a potential 1-drop 20k critical. I do very much like that a lot. I think Gamma will probably play 2 to 3 copies of this card. I think Android 16 might even play it. This is a really cool card in my opinion. And then finally we have S2 Gohan and Trusted Will. 5-drop 20k, activate main limit 1 for a blue and then another energy. If your leader's a blue Sun Gohan childhood card, you may play 1 skillless battle card with energy cost of 2 from your energy. If you do, play this card from your hand and add the top card of your deck to your energy. So right off the bat, you're getting 2 20k attackers and replacing that energy. So this is just like the freest form of support for the skillless Gohan deck. Seemingly this is a good card. Activate main limit 1, return one of your skillless battle cards with energy cost of 2 to the owner's hand. Choose one of your opponent's battle cards with energy cost greater than or equal to their current energy and place at the bottom of the owner's deck. So not only do you get those 2 attacks, you also get some removal built into this card, which is pretty good. Don't forget the leader like also pseudo untaps energy. You attack and then basically pick up an energy and put an energy down. That is a very, very cool thing that this leader has going for it. This leader has actually done some things on the rogue level in the past, and it's been a more aggressive blue deck, so maybe this will actually be a somewhat rogue worthy type of card. Again, most of the cards read in this video, maybe not all that great, but I do hope that your fan favorite decks did get support from this. Let me know in the comments below what decks you guys are playing that will use some of these cards. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.